Good morning to day 202. Well, that was going to be a bit of a short day 202. I mean, it is 9 o'clock now. Guys have been on site for an hour. I say, guys, there's a reasonable skeleton staff being the day after New Year's Day. I'm sure there's some serious hangovers on the island. Before I start, please make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel. We're starting to get a little bit of traction now and a lot more people asking questions, and we're also getting some information out of people as well, which is amazing. So the more people that like and share, obviously the more information I get, and also at the same time the more things I do, the more information I can share as well, because there seems to be quite a few people around the world, especially in the Caribbean, building at the moment, and for me to pass on some of the trials and tribulations and cuts and bruises and scars I'm getting to ensure that people can learn from my mistakes, then I'd love to be able to do that for everybody. So keep on liking and sharing for me. Okay, today, so the main goal today is we've got excavation and bobcats and stuff like that on site, and they cost a lot of money. To give an example, excavators are between 150 and 200 an hour, and bobcats are normally about 100. That includes an operator. So you shouldn't really pay any more than 100 for a bobcat, certainly if it's a decent bobcat and driver. And depending on the tonnage of the excavation, it varies between 140 and 200. The one we've got is a smaller unit, which I think is 4 ton. Might be bigger. Yeah, I think it might be a 6 ton. But anyway, it's working out, I think, 150 with a driver. So at the moment, what we're doing is we're planning what we're going to do with those machines, because all the time they're sitting around, they're costing us money. You don't normally get charged unless they're running. You do get charged quite a lot of money to get them here in the first place. So what you need to do is try and get 2, 3, 4 things that you need done, pay for it to be delivered. You normally have a minimum charge of 6 hours per machine, and then use the bloody hell out of them and get rid of them as soon as you physically can. So as you know, we've been moving the soil from the other land over to here, which obviously has given us a nice level. We need to obviously get that finished today, and then what we're doing at the moment is we're spraying out the garage area here so we can actually do the footings. So what we need to do really is get the footings dug out first, and we could probably put the actual, I was about to say, we could probably put the soil coming out of the footings onto here, but we can't because that is marl, if I remember rightly. So we're probably going to have to move that and get rid. But we can use it back into the base of the garage floor, which we've got to increase where Beckles is now. As you can see, we're probably around about 2.5, 3 foot lower there. So whatever we take out there can go off the land, but with view to coming back once we finish the footings. And then we've also got to dig out the front trench to connect up the final piece to the sewage system. So we need to get that done later today, so that before we leave we can get it in there, get it concreted, and then before we come back tomorrow we can get it filled with marl, and it's then done. We can roll over it and then bring all the actual footings up and the garage floor up. Andrew, the plaster man, has been in here at the weekend doing ceilings and stuff like that, which is awesome. I'll quickly take you through and show you where we are now and how the rooms are changing. Smithy is actually digging up some of the door tracks where the concrete's not been good, and I'll show you that in a second as well, because when you do concrete and you don't vibrate very well, you sometimes get issues, so I'm going to show you those. So let's have a quick look in here first. My new app has put the swivel in the... Okay, so bedroom, I think the class this one's bedroom 4. We now have ceilings in pretty much all round. There's a walk-through, obviously, rather than having it done, but also the main reason is because that is the shower there, and we still need to sort out the shower connection there and the what do you call it, the separate shower head system, and then that can be boarded up. These have got to be taken out. I'm not too sure why the window sills that we put in for the pour are still there. They've got to be taken out. The one thing I am going to be doing tomorrow is lasering the windows. You can clearly see quite a bit of light coming through the bottom here. The difficulty with these windows is that you've got probably about an inch of window where you can seal silicone, and the rest of it is a rain drip. So you've got to try and get the silicone underneath where the connection is, and you normally screw through the base. And then you've got to make sure you keep the rain drip free of silicone, so obviously the rain can drip out and fall away. So we've got to try and look at that with the window man when he returns, hopefully tomorrow, to find out whether we're actually able to silicone in place or whether we're going to have to take out. Fingers crossed we can do it in place, but I'm not too sure you can. But anyway, we're now in the bathroom. This is obviously the shower that we've got to sort out. So the plumber has pretty much got most things finished. That I don't think is going to be needed. So I'm not too sure what that's in there. That needs to come out. We've basically, our shower handle's actually got its own version of that. and what it does, it screws in until it hits the tile and pulls this to the back, and then the actual sleeve itself fits over with an Allen key underneath. So we may not need that in place, but again, galvanised near the sea, you really shouldn't be doing it. So I need to find out whether there's, in England we would use a wax covered cloth. Here, I don't think they used to do that, but apparently they don't anymore. So I need to find out what goes over that to ensure it doesn't corrode, including that. They don't do any push fittings either. So anyone from the US or UK building, as you can see, it's all welded stuff. And somebody yesterday, forgive me, I don't remember the name, suggested we get the whole system pressure tested before anything goes on. So I'm going to talk to the plumber today about getting everything finished and getting everything pressure tested, because I'm very mindful we're insulating and boarding. I really don't want to be finding out there's leaks after we've done that, that's for sure. We still need to get the shower system sorted out. The guys that did the concrete didn't do what I asked them to do, so now we have a level floor. So we've now got to think about how high do we come up. We've got 3 foot water channels that connect up to this. So we're now going to have to raise the floor. That becomes the level, obviously. We're going to have to fit that long channeling, and then we're going to have to literally create a raise this way. We're going to have to box it in. We're going to have to do some form of level lay of some sort, and then obviously have a slope for the water to run. So that's a real shame, because I wanted to have the floor the same height, sorry. So that's not going to happen now. This is where the toilet and sink will be. So again, I need to start looking at building the framework for that. We need to do that before this is boarded up as well. So I'm going to look at getting the wood and everything on Monday and start the wheels in motion on that myself. Mosquitoes flying around. You have things like this in the walls. So again, I'm not too sure here how they sort of mark on the wall, but don't drill here because there's conduit. They obviously run the conduits up the back, so you obviously land up missing certain things. But again, you start drilling picture frames and stuff like that into walls. When there's electric here in England, we have sort of metal over the top, so you can't drill through. But I'm not too sure what they do here, so I have to talk to the guys about that. Bedroom 3, again, plasterboarded around apart from slight ends, walk-throughs or insulation. Again, this wall here has been double-sided, so we need to look at what we're going to do with that. So we need to insulate. Obviously, we haven't done it on this side. It's just that wall there, so we're going to have to take it off, unfortunately, to insulate that. But we bought 23 inch, and he reckons he'd be able to get it in there without cutting it. It does mean that the off-cut we can't reuse, so I might trim, I don't know yet, we'll have a look. But yeah, as you can see, we're nearly plasterboarded in here. The one thing I have seen is there's crosses, obviously, where the spots are going to be in each room. But I just need to speak to the electrician about how we're going to centralise those, because some of them don't look as if they're centralised. There's no cross on this one. So there's 4 in these rooms. There's obviously 4 in each corner. You can hear the noise outside. We're actually still backfilling the side return to try and get that a bit level. We started, Andrew started plasterboarding through here, but saw that he's actually got a gap here versus no gap here. And on measuring here, we've actually set this back an inch too far. So there's only 1 or 2 screws here. There's 1 bolt 5 through there. I think there's 1 bolt 5 through there. There's another one there. So there's about 3 there, so we need to knock the heads off. There's another one there as well. So we've got about 4 or 5. They need to be cut off so we can move that. And then the top is just screwed, which is no problem. So he'd rather pull that out, which is awesome. We measured here. This one's 14 from the wall. This one's 13, 11. And then we're back down to 14 here. So that will enable Andrew to be able to go straight through and go straight with the board, and obviously be the same all the way through, 4 foot. In here, into bedroom 2, again, boarded upstairs, downstairs, all done in here. Again, we've got to decide what wall's easy to come off to do the insulation on that wall, obviously, but that's okay. Again, you've got the crosses. The electrician, I'm sure, will work out where they want them put, and then they'll pull the cables through regardless where the actual crosses are. That's just where the actual conduit's been mounted on the wall, ceiling upstairs. But they'll obviously measure whatever it's going to be, 2-3 foot that way, 2 through that way, mark a notch. Again, through a little walkway into bathroom, ensuite 1. Same thing, that's got to be finished off. That's got to be finished off. Once that's done and pressure tested, then there'll be a concrete board in the showers that go on there. There'll be a concrete board that goes on here, and there'll be a concrete board that goes on here, and that's going to be tiled, and then the rest of it will be boarded. Same thing on the floor. We're going to have to obviously work out how we move this. Then there's a 3 foot channel that goes in, and then again we're going to have to make the floor So we ideally want concrete, a finished concrete of some sort, but we might have to consider some form of small tiling of some sort. But anyone on the island that's got any experience or connections in the, I suppose what you want to call it, it's the wet room scenario, then let me know, because we definitely need to get something put in here that's good. And then we've got a company on the island, we're talking to at the moment about making the glass. On the island there's nowhere to get tempered glass, so at the moment we're having a thick glass made and then they laminate it both sides. Not ideal, but that is the only thing you can actually get on the island. You can't get tempered glass. It takes apparently between 8 and 13 weeks to get delivered. So again, in here there'll be a toilet and then there'll be 2 sinks. We're probably going to just keep it flat plastered walls in here, but behind the sinks we're probably going to put coloured glass in between the sinks. And again, this will be boxed out with a cistern on the wall. Yeah, that's pretty much anything in here. And then into main bedroom, we still need to sort the windows out, but again, Andrew's done the ceilings, which is great. The wardrobes are nearly finished, they're ready to be installed. As you can see in here, this is what the little walk-in's going to look like. So by the time the unit's here, I think the units are 24 inches. So by the time you put a 24-inch unit in there and 24-inch unit in there and one here, there's going to be a great deal of space in between. But anyway, it's a walk-in unit, and as like I said on the thing the other day, all of that, and probably all of that is hers, and then mine will be this little bit here, which you'll still probably steal some of. I know what you like, love. So anyway, and then we're going to try and get the doors in. So the doors have been recessed back now on the white mortar. We haven't done the sides yet. That should have been bloody done. Ideally, I wanted to start the window on Monday, but we're still not ready. It's so painful. In an ideal world, I wanted what's happened there done on the actual columns, so that by Monday when they come in, they can just start installing. But straight again, we're not ready. And again, nothing's happened with this as well. So we've got to try and think about what to do here. One of the guys on here recommended a PVC, which is, I think, it's a great idea, but the guys on the site don't think it is. So I'm not too sure at the moment. I might just come up with something with, I might just try and keep it at the same level it is now. So as you can see, there's a distance in height. So I might actually just put just concrete it, a nice long concrete smooth flush piece, but keep it down by about 3 or 4 mil, and then maybe try and find some form of coating I can put on it, or plastic of some sort. But either way, the doors need to go in next week, so I was hoping they would have had that and these dealt with by now, but unfortunately they haven't. Door tracks, we've had them taken out, and we're now obviously just getting back to where we need to be. Quite a lot of honeycomb, which ideally needs to be finished off because water's going to sit in here. So we're going to have to obviously put some form of mortar in here. But this side isn't too bad. The other side, however, we are finding rebar. I know Doddy loves the word rebar. So as you can see, rebar there, rebar there, rebar there. I think there's another bit over there somewhere as well. What we've got to do there, we've got to chisel out around. We've got to wire brush them to death. We've got to rust treatment them, and we've got to put mortar back over them as soon as possible. And then what I might do is I might actually put some form of sealant in here, because the doors are going to sit in here and trap some form of water. We'll try and stop water going down there, obviously, but I'm not too sure we're going to be able to stop all the water, even with this monstrous overhang. I think water's still going to get to the windows and still going to go down. We do have one floor on the patio. I say one, we have a number, but the main floor we have on the patio is that we collect water here. But the main problem is that water runs over here, and what I have seen is the water lands here. So it drips around to here. So as you can appreciate, this is going to be essential to get done. And when the water comes, I'm going to have to make a point of being out here, making sure I brush the water away. So we've got to get this sorted. This has got to be refilled, and it's got to be sealed properly. I mean, why we're seeing rebar there, I do not know. It's only 2 inches. But I suppose if you think about it, if you've got a 6-inch slab and you've got 3-inch smocks, I think we went 2 to 2 inch smocks on here, so we shouldn't be seeing rebar, but it's always going to be close. But anyway, that's being done as we speak. We've got to finish off in here today, so today, maybe tomorrow. The only thing I think left to do in here, you see the blue line there, that is the where the units are going to be. They've got to mount the wood that they're doing up here across, because we're going to mount 6 pendulum lights hanging down on the breakfast bar. So they've still got to be finished off, and the extractor's got to be finished off. But once that's done, to a certain extent, we're finished in here. So you can see the conduits on the wall there. The conduits on the wall are what we're using for spots. We've got 6 spots going there and 6 spots going through here. And then what we have on on the ceiling here is to say 6 pendulum lights going over the breakfast bar and the extractor. So once that's done and the infrastructure's in, then we can plasterboard all of in here. So all of in here has been done, as you can see, everything's connected up conduit wise. There's no cabling in here, so they need to start putting the cables through, but other than that, once they're in, we're done. So the Wi-Fi socket's been put in, but we got 2 chandeliers going in, one there and one here. Yeah, we're good to go. Good to go. So other than that, we're all good. Still got to get these windows done, obviously. But when John comes in, we'll have a plan of what we're going to be doing. Whether we're going to be leaving them as they are, fix the foaming and going from there. Andrew will still carry on plasterboarding, as he's been doing anyway. I'm not too sure what that big conduit is up there. To ask the plumber, that looks like plumbing to me. Oh, actually no, it's not, it's electrical. It's electrical. And whilst I'm on the video, let me show you the electrical. The electrical cupboard is out of sight, out of mind in the hallway. But the guys have been quite busy in here, so as you can see, conduits are now all into the main piece. 2 boards have been put in, getting quite a bit of salt air, so I need to get that sealed up. And obviously you've got the main feeds up to the toplet. So quite a lot going on in here, and there's obviously some feeds down to the basement all the way along here. So that's where the mains will come in. The big mains cable will come through one of these 5 and come straight into here. And as you can see, the conduit's looking quite big. That's where the electric's going to come in. We built a door frame in here, so we're going to get this sealed off. Obviously this forms part of the roof to the garage, so we're going to seal that window and we're going to seal this doorway. There's real no need to have that open, but we'll probably use that as some form of storage, hence the reason we put a door frame on there. And obviously we still haven't got the door made and installed yet, so we're still waiting for someone to give us some feedback on that. Yeah, certainly need to get some feedback on the door company. Been talking to a couple of people, but just waiting for prices and install dates, etc. And as you can see, we are making a bit of headway on the back, as I showed you just a minute ago. We've still got to finish this off, obviously. The well, we're still waiting for the guys in the well company to sort this out. Not hearing anything from them, so as I said last Friday, we may have to consider a different option. And Beckles is now marking out where the footings are going to go. So we may as well get the excavator digging that out today, I think. I think it's time we started. We've got to get that sorted out down there, the waste. That's going to be connected into here, and it's also going to be connected over here to the sink as well. So that's something we're going to have to do next week before the actual mile goes back in. But it's mainly the footing that's going to go all the way along here to support the back and the walls, the side return, which is again where the back and the walls are going to be, and then the front part of the garage. And then once this all comes up, then we can dig up the main driveway here, put in the main pipe, and then also from the front drive we're going to be coming right up as an angle. This is going to come through here about this high, so we're going to be quite high through here. So that's when we start ordering loads of marl and starting rolling again. I haven't seen a roller for many months. I'm not looking forward to seeing one again either. They don't normally last longer than 2 minutes. But anyway, that's where we are so far. And just to quickly show you, this is what down the side return's looking like now. So as you can see, we're about 4 foot, 5 foot up in the air now. It's all got to be level with the actual manholes themselves. So yeah, looking forward to seeing that at the height it needs to be at, that's for sure. But again, what I want to try and do, the main thing for me is this pipe here. There it is. I want to dig that all the way through here and get that sorted out, because that is then the mains system connected up and finished. That can't happen soon enough, that's for sure. But anyway, I'll update you throughout the day. It's going to be a short day, being Sunday. I'd say we'll probably be done by 2-3 o'clock, so 5 hours of work, see how we get on. Okay, so being a Sunday, before we start the actual let's go into the garage. Sod it, let's do it. Let's have a quick look. So here we are. How close we are to that bloody pipe. Again, now you're seeing the side of the pipe. Look what can happen. Look, it goes along, comes up, goes back down again. I don't know why it's doing that. That's not what we did. Oh, he's on top of that pipe as well, so we need to get him off there. The moment he's tracked, the main track at the back, it's right on top of where the pipe is. So we're going to have to get him to move that. Otherwise, the extra pressure going down on top of that is going to cause damage. So I have to have a chat with him quick. But anyway, we're getting this all moved out. We're going to get the main waste pipe in. We're going to concrete that, let that go overnight. And then obviously from that being concreted, we'll get the mole done tomorrow, get the whole driveway done, get the concrete footings done, start getting the bloody garage up. Let's do this. And the bad news is both pipes are completely mullered. There's one. And there is the other. So, back to a wastegate. Shit me. So we're now going to have to dig all of this out, re-repair that pipe there and that pipe there. Shit me. Gotta be fucking joking me. Anyway, these things are sent to try us. Certainly fucking trying me, that's for sure. We'll dig it out and see what the damage is and see how we can repair, if we can repair. Sorry about the wind, but I'll show you what's going on here. So this is the road wall, the northern wall. So all this marl we put down and rolled, now being dug up. And then Monday we'll start the footings, as in the concrete base, the rebar. Start getting all that done. I think the actual rebar for the floor, I think it's already been made. It just needs to be installed, I think. I have to double check with the guy that owns the business. I'll ring him in a minute, find out. But yeah, hopefully we can get that lowered in and start pouring concrete Monday, Tuesday. Get this garage out of the floor sooner than that. We're taking the marl at the moment into the lorry here. We'll take it over to so dumping it with the other marl. That is mud and marl, which is unfortunately probably not going to be able to be used. We're going to have to dig out manually the whole pit. Start redoing the pipes. Soul destroying, but that's the way it is. Bloody hard to come up, so obviously did a good job putting it down. That's the one good thing, I suppose. Anyway, I'll update you once it's finished. So what we discovered is we had a massive concrete pump in here and concrete lorries coming here doing the roof. And obviously what they've done is they've pushed down on the whole pipe. So the pipe that's in here that's meant to be feeding the services from the house and the garage, that's been completely crushed. So it's flat as a pancake all the way through. You can see it there, look. Flat as a pancake. So we're going to have to dig this one completely up. So hopefully it's just because this is where they're weight bearing down on top. So fingers crossed. This one here is obviously just bent because of the weight. We need to get that one re-supported and refixed over there. But this has got to be completely replaced. Completely. But anyway, it is what it is.